This is Justin Amazon on Wednesday, August 1st, 2018, a brand new month, and we're very sideways. We're in a really tight range, much tighter than we've been the last couple days where we're really moving around, chopping around. This is just sideways. This is just dead. There's nothing happening here. A little bit of something here moving around, but look at this, just sideways into the open. It's a small gap up from yesterday. Yesterday ended up being a bearish candle. It opened, or is it here? No. See, the highlighting always throws me off. Sometimes it shows the 5 minute. Oh, I think it's on my mobile. It shows the 5 minute highlighted at 8:30, but in this program, TOS, it does not. So anyway, opened here, closed here, bearish candle. We're slightly gapping up. We're not really trapping many people. I mean, some here. So we'll see what happens in the day. But we've got our next line up here, which is slowly grinding higher, the low 1800s. The next one below is down here at 1747. We have this downtrend line, which may not even be in effect anymore because it's down here and we're up here. So we'll see if there's something that happens that comes down into the low 1770s, something like that, and can connect up with that line. So we'll leave it here for now and see if it becomes relevant or not. And maybe there could be some tweaking to that line too. So anyway, let's step into the day. Right at the open, we've got indecision. The market is not sure which way it wants to take this. Similar volume to yesterday, similar amount here, much lower from the day before, but really, really indecisive. At this point, you could really trade it bullish above the high or bearish below the low with where this gap is and this kind of price range. And if this line continues down, maybe you got a 1 hour stop or a 1 hour target here, and if it goes up, maybe a little more than an hour. So go to the next candle, mostly an inside. Mostly, it's got a little bit of a lower wick, which means it's moving lower, and then this one also slightly lower. But I'm going to merge these together and say this is just sideways. This is just not any real activity that I can do something with. We had that same range happening here with stair step in this range, and then ended up breaking down. So we need another candle. If this candle gets broken down, a buying candle, all these lower wicks, that's going to trap some folks going bullish here. So the next candle starts to break out. All right, so we don't have to worry about trapping people. Now we got to worry about, not worry, but we're going to have this plan that says, okay, this is some sort of Morningstar reversal. This is a flag here from something, and it's breaking out. So, get a little bit of a pullback. I mean, even this wick is enough of a pullback if you bought at the high after it did that. Another candle, okay, pulls back a little more, sideways, okay, it actually pulls back a little bit more to here, almost to these open prices, so a little bit higher. But right into the 21 exponential. We've got a squeeze forming. This could really go, and there it goes. Okay, there it goes sideways. It's not really moving. All right, now it's breaking down. So it did actually break out, came right into the resistance that we saw from yesterday at the open, and then a retest of that. So we made it slightly above this price up here. Right, again, we're selling. So this seems like a really good place to sell, and this is more of a double top here. We'll see if it retests that, and here we go. Okay, so this is somewhat of a retest. This candle could have been getting in on that candle at a stop up here. Just 25 minutes of sideways. Another very high wave doji candle here. Similar to the one it opened, a little bit smaller. Volume's a lot smaller, but it's at a key location. We got a neckline here, and we're below the exponentials, and this to me looked like it broke down and then was retesting, came into this. If you go look at the 1 minute, and I was watching this one, it really did retest back up here, and it just looked like, okay, this is just building up some energy to go bearish. And then, get a couple of bullish candles, people buying, and then it takes those out, takes out this low, doesn't quite take out the low of the day, but it's going there. All of a sudden, it's down here, right at the low of the day, pushes bearish a little bit further with a hammer-ish candle, and then actually does roll over, goes a little bit lower, and then bounces again. So this starts to look like another double bottom, just really squeezed together more than this one, and some larger candles. But this same price area is where we were sitting yesterday to close. We didn't really get below the close. I mean, we wicked below it, but we really, like, this is the exact place. All right, let me see what the exact number is. The close was 1777.65. The low here was 1777.45. 17, wait, I just jumped. 1778. 1784.27. So, there's a whole, no, wait, I read that wrong. 1778.59. Okay, that makes more sense. Oops. So we're off from each other by a few pennies, some loose change and everything. But we actually pulled right back into this price. So this is a retest of that price. Here's the second retest of that price. Now it's like, okay, now we could go higher. And it starts to, and then it chops around. And this was a really difficult one to trade today. You really just had it. And here's another retest. So it's like it actually retests down to this level right in here, but was phenomenally bought up and then just rallied out of that. So almost the end of the day. You can see it just kind of grinds higher and actually contends with the high of the day. So it ends up being a bullish candle. We got some wicks in there from the open, below the open and above the close, and a bullish candle. But it's just ebbing and flowing. It's just moving around. So what's interesting to see is, okay, we're starting to drift up a little bit more, but our next resistance is up here in the low 1800s, this line. So that's what we're going to want to watch out for next. If we can get a little bit of momentum here as this starts to break out, that would help. So here's the daily. We've got a daily candle sitting right on the 50 exponential right here, which is pretty phenomenal. And AMZN has really enjoyed these smaller bearish candles, similar to this one, quite a bit actually. If I zoom back out on this, you can see a lot of small candles, one small candle, a lot of small candles. This is another setup for a bounce. Now, it could go sideways a little more. It could do something like this, chop around in here. Could do something like this where it actually breaks down a little more. That's somewhat what this was. It was a sell-off from an all-time high here, and just caused some problems to consolidate and just went sideways for a long time. In terms of day trading, a long time. It was difficult to get something in here. That was that's what I'm kind of looking back to see. Okay, how are we going to pull into the exponential, move around it? Are we going to hold it? Are we going to go below? We went below here. We straddled it. Now here we're actually on it. Are we going to get below it like this and then really rally hard into the end of the year or something like that? I have no idea. So if we zoom in and take a look at the puts, now on these puts, where I've got the cursor is about $10. That has been the active place to buy yesterday, maybe a couple times, and then doing it back on Monday and then back on Friday. So lots of opportunities to get in to here. It just didn't work so well today. It actually pulled back a little further through. It looked like it was holding it and then pulled back through it. And then even as this was rallying up, the $10 price was right at that breakout. So it was difficult to make something on this unless you just had something open and did it off of what we've had here. Even 10x9 would have been stopped out, but maybe a little wider because you're going to just let it run. Wait till later in the day because it did have a little bit of a bounce here later in the day, a little bit below 10, but it was still something we were able to check out. So anyway, that's why I left this all on here so you can see back to the $10 price is what important. If I just zoom in on the day here, then you can see a lot more chopping around, a whole lot more. So if you see something like this where it's pulling back, look at the 5 minute, make sure you understand what's going on and, quickly, and then that could be closed up and it could be working in. So it could be trading up and make exactly what you need ready. So anyway, so that's the puts. Now the calls. I'm trying to remember what I was looking at here for calls. Probably because we're gapping slightly. Oops. Yeah, that's the one. So let's see. This is kind of a head and shoulders, retest, rolls down, double bottom, rolls down again, and then a harder rally out. And so that's in general what's happening. And then come back, if we come back in here, you could have been buying here off of this low range, 1778 through 1775 to never get down there. So let's take a look at the, the call. So this is the low expiring for at 1800 price at the end of this week. So not exactly sure what prices those were or what times those were. So let's say you got in on this one. That's at 1310. And then you look at this one, 1310. So whatever the risk is, you're looking at doing 7 by even 5, no, 4, 7 by 4, $300 risk on just a single piece here that could break out, could come back and get stuffed out. So this is good to be reviewing here because there's a setup that you want to do, but it may not follow your plans or your rules. And then there's this kind of thing where it's like, well, why did it come down here? The stock makes sense, the option it doesn't. And then we kind of paused in this area, went sideways for a while, and then just continued on. So there's ways to trade this, bearish and bullish. Again, for me, it's mostly bearish because you could see this sort of roll over here, and it held its ground here and got bullish after that. So it was kind of surprising we ended up putting in a bullish day on something like this, mainly because it gapped up. So we'll see what happens as things proceed in the morning. So hope you enjoyed the video. This is Just AMZN.